Ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go. Alrighty, joining us now is an absolute giant of a man. 6'6", 310 is what I could find, but it could be different. Described as one of the toughest linesmen in Dade County, committed to the University of Miami, number 77 for the U, Mr. Frankie Tinilau. How are you, mate?
Hey, what's going on, boys? How you doing?
Yeah, real good, real good. You are down in Australia, so it's a much friendlier time zone for us to actually speak to you, which makes life a lot easier.
Definitely.
So you're in town for a suit fitting for a wedding in the future?
Yeah, so I came back to see the family. Flew in. I got 2 weeks off for spring break for high school, and I returned back Sunday. So quick little.
You also, I just wanted to check how the mouth's feeling, mate. You've lost a couple of teeth since you've come down, haven't you?
Yeah, I know. There's 4 wisdom teeth, man. They hurt so bad coming out of recovery, but I mean, it's good. They're well now.
Did you go fully under?
Yeah,
or was it?
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to.
Because some people do it in the dentist chair. It baffles me. I was the same. I was like, nah, put me under, get them out.
Yeah. Nah.
I'm still as wise as they come. I've got all 4 of mine, so you can all get stuffed. Frankie, you said you've seen a couple of our things, and something that I really like. It's always me. Don't worry about the other boys, but I like to find out a little bit about yourself. Just 3 people that you would have at a dinner party, just to get an idea of the kind of person you are. On the spot.
Troy Polamalu.
Oh yeah,
Muhammad Ali, and Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
Why Donald Trump?
I don't know. I kind of just, we've just been in America too. I feel like he might be the greatest president in America. So I like him. Right. He's an interesting guy. I feel like he'll be a character to talk to at the dinner table. He's definitely someone that'll bring out some interesting conversations. So.
Oh shit! Yeah. Is he in prison at the moment, or did he not get?
He was at the US fight the other day. So.
That's awesome. Great.
Did you not see that? There was a pic of him and Dana White.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. That's awesome. Bloody oath. That's the first time we've heard Trump, so that's brilliant. I can understand the other two, Muhammad Ali especially. I reckon he'd have a lot of interesting mindsets and things that he went through, especially back was it the 50s or 60s or 70s when he was fighting? Yeah.
I think someone just awesome. His mentality would be great to just hear from him and hear his experiences. But same thing with Troy Polamalu. When I met him in Hawaii, he's just some guy that he's a guy that he just, I don't know, his mindset is so focused on just, being true to yourself and being humble. I feel like that's someone that, you should always hang around and surround yourself with. So definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon he goes down as one of the greatest Steelers of all time as well.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll get into it. You are one of the, enormous talent that is coming out of the Brisbane Rhinos. Is that where you grew up, in Brisbane?
Yeah, born and raised in Brisbane my whole life.
Yeah. So, it was a natural just to head to the Brisbane Rhinos, or how did you get involved with them?
So, I actually began my my journey in Griffith. So, I started off at Griffith. I went there when I was 14. Actually, previously, I was there. I came to the league when the Wildcats were there. So, I was 13. And unfortunately, their club had folded and they closed. So I was looking for a team, and I was coming to the age where I was able to play. And then turned 14 and I found Griffith just through some mutual friends. So, yeah.
Danny?
So you said that it was around 14. We found a headline that said you could be too big to play rugby. So was that part of the decision in going across to gridiron, and can you explain that for us?
Yeah, I felt like growing up playing rugby my whole life. Going to those games, I felt like I was just a lot bigger than the normal kid. Even though kids probably dream to be my size playing rugby, I didn't find the excitement anymore. I kind of lost that spark a long time ago. So to hear stories that my dad used to play American football, that's where I began my new journey. So I had to take it up.
So you said your dad played. Where did he play?
So he played back in Wellington. He played for a local club back there. So just hearing stories, I'm sure he sounded like he was Tom Brady back then, but it was just a local club.
Was he a lineman, like lineman or linebacker?
He played running back. My dad was a running.
Running back.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
yeah,
Are you bigger than your dad?
yeah. A lot bigger.
Makes sense, then. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to tackle you as if you were a running back running at me though. I'd be getting out of the way pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So
Good, Daddy. Was that so? That was the catalyst to come across that you were a bit bigger, and because I saw that the troubles followed you over into Gridiron as well, because you had to go through a legal battle to try and play up a couple of years. Is that right?
yeah. So what happened was when I got to Griffith, the only team that was there was a under 16 team. It was like I think you call it the juniors. It was like 14 to 16. And I told my mom, I said, I don't want to play. I don't want to play with my age group. I felt like I wanted to. My dad told me growing up, he said, the only way you learn is when you put yourself in tough situations. And so my whole life I always played up. So moving into gridiron, I said, yeah, I want to play under 19s. At 14, I was only 14, but I looked like I was 19, 20. I looked the part, but I wasn't. And so the club said, we can fight for this. And, we just send some footage of you, just how you are and how big you are and how you move. And that's what they did. And it came back and they beat the case and I was able to play at 14.
Were you offensive or defensive tackle?
Defense. I was playing defensive line. So that's where I started my journey.
Yeah, right. But it was your choice to go and say, I want to go and play against, like, at 14, like, these guys are men you're like, you want to play with, but that was your choice.
Yeah, that was my choice. I felt like, I needed to be in a tough competition. And the only way I learned is when I put myself in situations like that. So they definitely jumped in the deep end that year. So it eventually worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you would have learned a hell of a lot more than, like you said, bashing around 14-year-olds. But
Definitely.
you end up training with the guys at the Endzone Academy. How did you get involved with them?
So just through mutual friends, I met Jordan Moko. And, he always reached out. He's like, man, we need to start working out. And he was telling me he was working out at the gym. It was just a shed out there when he was playing with Rhinos. And he was like, yeah, I got a guy, but, when you come, like, you have to stay committed. Like, you don't come, you don't want to bullshit. You don't want to, you just show up 1 week and don't show up the next. He said, you have to be committed. Like, if you want to go to college, this is what it takes. So I trusted him. I came in. And with the guidance, too, of Coach Booker. Coach Booker he's kind of like shadowing the guys. He was in and out. And I trusted it. And I went in and I met the boys. Ever since then, we built a great relationship. And, yeah, just took off from there.
Do you have a player that you try and like base your game off or try and play like?
Penei Su from Oregon. I feel like everything I learned was off YouTube, and I used to watch his high school videos, his college videos, and all my technique and everything. I try to base it off him, so someone to look up to.
You tried to head over to the States in 2020 when you enrolled in school in California, but COVID kicked in. But you got to attend some camps along the way and left thinking that Oregon was where you'd end up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, sorry. Throughout my whole recruiting process and high school journey, I felt like I always wanted to end up in Oregon. Hence where Penei Sewell went. I just seen what they did to him and how they shifted him and they shaped him into the athlete, the freak he is today. I mean, there's only so much that genetics can do, but the learning abilities, the coaching abilities that Oregon had at the time, that's something that I wanted, and I wanted to be a part of that program. So, yeah.
Being a Packers man that you can see, I think Penei Sewell is going to cause my team a few dramas over the next 10 years, which is hopefully you can go to the Packers and you can do it the other way. But you came back from that trip from St. Bernard. You didn't actually get to play at all, did you?
No, so I still didn't play a game of football in America until last season. So all that time was just COVID and so many like misfortune events. It's just like back to back. Everything just stopped me from playing. So
yeah,
unfortunate.
Did you have a point where you was, you can understandable getting down on yourself thinking like this is not meant to happen when you got such setback after setback?
Oh, it's definitely. I feel like every hard time that came, it was always a thought in my head like maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this is a way of God showing me maybe this isn't your path. So every time, and I think the biggest motivation was my family. Like my parents just always said, like you come so far, you have to just stick it through it and then chase your dream. Like you have to remember the day where football was always on your mind. It was your dream and your passion. So there's times where it got tough, and the days where I wanted to quit, like they always just stuck it to me and were like, "Hey, no, like this is your goal and your dream."
Yeah, shout out to mum and dad. That's awesome. But when you came back, you hooked back up with the Rhinos. Is that right?
Yeah, so when I came back, I was looking for a team, still floating around, but just going back through the history of gridiron in Brisbane, Rhinos are always a powerhouse. It's either the Rhinos or
Mm.
the Stingrays in the playoffs. So and just seeing what Jordan was doing back there before I got there, um, just to see that the culture that was developing there with Coach Booker coming in, I want to be a part of it. And you know, well, with time moving on, Jordan ended up moving over to Texas, went over to play, and Coach Booker went overseas, for his future goals. So, I mean, the team was still great, the coaches were still great, and just built a brotherhood within the Rhinos and decided to stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. But you only played the 1 or 2 years there, and then you've shipped back off over. You just said you're on spring break from high school, which was, is it LaSalle?
Yeah,
LaSalle?
Immaculata LaSalle, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you end up? Like that's the complete opposite side of the not the globe, but of America compared to Oregon. How did you end up there instead of in Oregon?
Um, it's been like a long journey. It's a wild story, but to long
We've
story
got nothing
short,
but time, mate.
long story short, I got banned in California, so that's the reason of me moving to like Florida to play. So I got banned in California due to the reason of me playing Sun Devils. I played Sun Devils, um, 2019. In 2020,
Yep.
no, it was end of 2019 when I went over to America. The year my clock didn't reset the 12 months, and I enrolled into high school. So you can't play the same sport within the 12 months, no matter where you are in the world. That's that rule
Yeah.
in
Right.
CIF. So unfortunately, they banned me for 12 months. And again, too, with the whole COVID, California sports, it kind of put a stop to it. There's a lot of high school sports that stopped. So, I wanted to look elsewhere. And I feel like Miami and, well, Florida in general, the weather type was more like close to home. It felt more like home.
Yeah.
Moved to Miami.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Not a bad choice regarding the weather, I don't think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Except at the moment, it's bloody raining a lot.
And I mean, picking my high school wasn't too hard. I felt like, well, they sold me, but they were like, yeah, we have 600 girls and 200 boys, and we have an ice cream machine.
He's played the ratios. Smart. That's
Yeah, we have
it's good the man is thinking with his head.
we have an ice cream machine and everything. They sold me that. I still don't use it, so it definitely got me.
So you ended up finishing your senior year, and you were rated a 3-star recruit. Did you hear about that, and how'd that rating sit with you?
Oh, actually, I confronted the guy that does the rankings when I was in Hawaii playing the Polynesian ball. I said, "Man, you got me as a 3-star." And then his first thing was, "Yeah, but look how long you've been in America." And for me, I mean, me personally, I feel like you shouldn't base someone's talent based off how long they've been playing a sport. I feel like, well, just like everything, numbers, well, people lie, numbers don't. And I feel like when you're looking at, I guess, the talent that I played against, you can kind of say, yeah, well, he didn't play against the top guys in the country. But it doesn't mean I wasn't versing 4 stars. Like, we played a bunch of teams with great talent. So, I mean, stars don't matter when you play high school football. Once you get to college, you're in the locker room, everyone's the same. No matter where you were, 5-star, 4-star. Once you get to college, get to the next level, it's like your whole, like, your platform, your portfolio just resets. So it doesn't matter.
And was it quite a natural process going to Miami? Did you have many other offers?
Oh yeah, I had a bunch of offers. Previous to Miami, the move to Miami. And during this time, actually, the coaches at Oregon, they had just left and they just moved into Miami. So it was like a perfect match. And in my heart, I always knew I was going to go to Miami and follow the coaches because my heart was set in Oregon for those coaches. Um, so it was just like everything happened for a reason and put me in a great spot and a great position.
Did schooling come into the decision at all? And what are you studying?
Um, well, talking to my to the college and to the coaches, they were telling us that when we get there, then we get to kind of decide what you want to learn and study. Unfortunately, the way that like practices are set up in your schedules, a lot of classes you want to take, you won't be able to take, and a lot of courses you want to take, you won't be able to take either. So I think that's something that I have to talk to my advisor and kind of take a subject based off that.
Yeah, nice. So you're still working through the schooling side of things?
Yeah, definitely.
What would, so taking football out of it, what would be the dream going forward? Like, obviously, you mentioned Donald Trump before. Are you thinking following in his footsteps?
I feel like the footsteps I want to follow is somewhat of Dwayne Johnson, kind of something what he did. Even though he was a football player, like he's also known for so many other things, and I feel like definitely want to take up if somewhat acting or wrestling or just being an entrepreneur. I feel like I want to have a lot of, how to explain it, like businesses, like things that I'm involved in. I want to do a lot in life. I feel like I don't want to settle with football. I don't want to be known as, oh, he was an NFL player. I feel like I want to be known for doing a lot more things than just football. So
Well,
Yeah, like
you're retired a hell of a lot longer than you are playing, so you want to have something behind you.
most definitely. Yep.
have multiple avenues to be able to go down. That's definitely a good option.
Yeah. Well, the best thing now with the WWE, they're a lot more open for athletes. Former college athletes and former NFL players. It's good to also build your name, build your brand. I feel like once you find that platform, you build your platform. There's really no limit to what you want to do in life.
Dwayne, wasn't he a player at the U as well?
Yeah. His name is everywhere. Like the locker room,
Yeah,
Dwayne
really.
Johnson everywhere. So it's
Oh,
crazy.
so it's not a bad. Does he ever get back? Have you ever met the man?
I haven't met him, not yet. But he comes to the games a lot. We're just looking at previous games. I think he's around the culture, but he's just a busy man. He's doing so much, so I don't expect him to be there every game.
Nah, he'll have you up at 4 a.m. doing gym just like he is every
Yeah.
other day. Ah, Grass. How's it actually been at Miami? What have you been in the facilities and checked all that stuff out yet?
Yeah, so I just finished my forms when I was back in Miami, so I'm able to go on campus and use the facility whenever I like. Even though that I'm not
Yeah, Grass.
enrolled yet, I'm still in high school. I can still go in and use the weight room, the treatment, and everything. So I've been able to, take it. I mean, use the advantage and just go in whenever I feel like it and work out with the boys or use the facility. So which is good too. And it's the upper hand. That's the best thing about committing to somewhere that it's in your hometown. You know, if I was committed to a school or signed with a school on the other side of America, it's a bit harder to, take visits. Where I can go every day after school and go hang out with the boys and build a relationship with them.
Have you already started some spring ball or anything like that?
Nah, so I haven't. You said like, have I started with the team? I haven't started with the team yet.
No, but have you no practices or anything yet?
Nah, I'm not that practice with the team. I can work out with the team as long as there's no coaches around. So
Right.
other than that, I mean, nah, they have a game this weekend, which I won't be there unfortunately. So
When will you officially be enrolled and on the field?
end of May. So we go in
Okay.
sometime end of May, and then start practice pretty much ASAP. We go straight into working out, learning the playbook.
Are you nervous about it?
Nah, not nervous. I think I've been around Miami and been around the team long enough to. It feels like natural to me. You're walking in through the campus, and they're always like, I swear you go here because I'm always there. Like I'm always around the team. And there's a joke. They joke about it because I go and I show up and I go through the nutrition lounge, and I'm always taking snacks. And they're like, I saw you come and just steal the snacks. So
I don't think anyone, when you're 6'6", and are you at 310 or are we heavy or are we
I'm heavy
lighter?
now,
How are
like
you?
330, 335.
330. So you're 6'6", 6'7", 330. I'm probably not going to say no to you when you're coming past me and grabbing a snack. Like, hey man, you take it. It's all
Yeah, I
yours.
love it though. They're cool though. The team's great. We have a brand new team, brand new coaching staff. So we're just building a better locker room atmosphere. So it's good.
Yeah.
And you get
So-
along well with the
Yeah,
boys.
yeah. Well, we have Aussie there too now. He's a punter. So
Yeah, I did see that he signed. I might have reached out to him, just maybe get in his ear and tell him to get a hold of us.
for
I
sure.
reckon.
Definitely. I'm sure when he sees this go up, he's gonna want to jump on.
Grass. I did see in a few videos that you get mixed up as a Hawaiian or a Samoan man, but you're a proud Samoan. How is it taking your culture and the heritage over to the East Coast?
it's been somewhat challenging because I feel like the culture of like the Polynesians isn't as big as it is on the West Coast. Yeah, the West Coast there's a lot of Polynesians there, but on the East Coast, everyone just assumes you're Hawaiian, everything, and you just have to educate them slowly. Like, nah, I'm Samoan. Like, you see me everywhere wearing a Samoan singlet, Samoan top, so. Just like educating them, and even the guys in the locker room. There's a lot of guys that have never had a Samoan on the team, and at least now that Miami's recruiting a lot more Polynesians, which is good, I feel like we just bring a different culture to the sport, and we bring a lot more family vibes to the team. So yeah,
But are they getting around you? Getting around it?
yeah, definitely. I think when the media blew up when they were saying that I was the first Polynesian kid to play high school football in Miami itself, not Florida, but in Miami itself. So they haven't had a Samoan playing in high school football in Miami yet. So I think slowly
They
we need to move to
have
the East
now.
Coast. It's a lot more tropical.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's a hell of a lot more like Samoa, right?
Yeah, the only thing is just so far away from family, and obviously the Polynesians all about family, so it's tough making the sacrifice to move across that far.
And have your family like come over much?
Yeah, so my mom she stays with me. She flies in, flies out, makes sure that everything's good. Obviously because I'm still in high school, so mom's still around. But my dad he'll come out every football season, make sure he's around too, and then eventually the family will come out for the games.
Yeah, brilliant. So there has been some huge raps about you, like I said, in the media, or like you said, in the media. First Polynesian to play over there, and Miami have come out and said that they've actually got a hidden gem in yourself. Have you felt like any pressure behind that? Like, because it's pretty huge raps. I saw a video of someone videoing you in a training session, like Frankie's first session with the boys. Like, if they're watching you already, and you like you said, you're not enrolled until May, like. Have you felt that pressure, or is it just another day, another dollar?
Um, I feel like the pressure isn't there's no pressure. Just because they don't force you or they don't expect me to come in there and be the best player out there. They don't expect me to come in there and be a Pro Bowl talent. I feel like it's more just they're excited to see what I bring to the team and what I bring to the sport. Obviously, it's still a big question mark, even though I played one season over here. But they have to remember, like, I'd never had the coaching abilities that most of these guys have. So it's still a big question mark. I think everyone's excited. The Miami fans are excited, and just the college fan base are excited too. Um, but nah, I don't feel like there's a lot of pressure. I think there's a lot of guys in there that have great talent, and I'm not going to say I'm going to sit here and say they're better than me. I feel like this is something that the best man plays. So there's a lot of guys in there that I would love to learn off. For instance, Francis, he's a young kid, and he's going to go in there, and he's the type of guy that he can go into any college he wants, and he can start. And I feel like that's someone I want to learn off him and be a sponge. No matter, everyone's playing for the starting position, but I want to play to get myself better. And I don't feel like I need to go in there and be the big dog and hey, I'm this, I'm that, and try and take anyone's spot. I just want to get better and learn off those guys that have been playing for years.
So yeah, obviously improvement's a massive tick on your list. But do you have any other major goals that you got set for the upcoming season?
For this season, I'm excited to get in the room with Coach Marable. I definitely want to be a sponge, like I said, but I'm excited to see, my abilities. Where will I be with good coaching, with great coaching, and you know, but I can only do so much of like natural talent that when I get that proper coaching and that proper, the proper teaching, I'm excited to see where I'll be this season. I'm excited for the team, excited for me. So
What about some a little bit more long term
long
goals?
term goals. My biggest long term goal, I don't tell many people this, but eventually I want to come back to Australia and I want to create my own IMG. Like, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
want to create
correct.
my own IMG, not just for football, but for golf, for rugby, for swimming. I want to be able to have a big facility where people can go like, oh, we need these athletes, come to us. Like, we'll have everything. And I feel like that's something that I want to be my final goal as well. Like, it's where my final give back to everyone. I don't think it would be a profit. It would be more like what I needed when I was like that age, and I feel like if I would have had this, I would have gotten to the next level a lot easier instead of going through and learning. There's a lot of corrupt things in America, and when you don't understand how things work over here, it's easy to get lost. So I think that's one of my final like major goals is to come back and have a facility where kids can get the training they need and kids can get the coaching and they can network and obviously move on to the next level. So
Yeah, we were lucky enough to speak to young Tom Huber, who's in
yeah.
IMG over there at the moment, and like it is literally next level, that kind of stuff over there. So, do you have you mentioned golf and things like that, and you unfortunately fell out of love with rugby, but do you have any other sports that you kind of still get around?
Um. Well, lately I've been watching a lot of rugby. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like seeing the hype, the Dolphins and bringing that new team in. But I would say UFC. I've been getting in the UFC
Yep.
lately. I think that's something that's like starting to grow a lot bigger worldwide. So, and especially with the fight the other day, it brings Australia, New Zealand. I feel like every major fight always has at least Australia, New Zealand on the card. So I think it's better for us to put us on the map. But I would say UFC.
You're not. Have you been involved in the UFC? You're not going to actually get in for a fight, are you?
Yeah, I mean, no, not yet. But that's something that I always thought. Like, I always thought, like, damn, I'll be a massive fighter. What? It was like, who would I verse? 6'6", we're coming in at 330. Like,
Yeah. What would the right like? Is that super heavyweight? Like, what would that
mega
be?
heavyweight.
Holy shit!
Nah, but
I'm sure. Is
I,
it Adesanya he'd take you on? He takes
yeah,
on
I
anyone,
reckon he would
doesn't
take me on. Or Conor McGregor. I'll fight Conor McGregor. Or Hasbulla. I
he?
think Hasbulla give you a crack.
Well, I love
I
Hasbull. He's
love
awesome. But I reckon if you fight Connor, that'd be really good for your brand. The entrepreneur side. He's a bit of an
Yeah,
entrepreneur.
definitely.
So yeah, line that up, and you'll be maybe post NFL though. You'll be about 50, but that's all right.
Definitely be able to take away a bag if you're
Oh,
fighting Connor.
definitely. That guy brings in the crowd.
Nah.
And just like it'll be like David versus Goliath. So he's not the biggest of all people.
Yeah.
You mentioned Muhammad Ali. Can you float like a butterfly and sting like a bee?
Oh,
Like, Connor's got pretty quick hands.
yeah. I have a video. There's a video of me somewhere on the internet. It's just on my footwork, and I'm doing the shuffle, the famous shuffle. And I was actually waiting for my car. The tire was getting changed, and I was fighting the traffic
Brilliant.
cone. That was it.
Did you win?
Yeah, of course, cool.
Nah, nice. We've got another couple of questions for you, mate, just to finish off. But this has been one of the quickest half an hours that I've ever been involved in. So I really, to be able to get this to actually work, I really appreciate you taking the time coming down to. You came down to Australia. Let's not lie, just to speak to us. So it's really appreciated that you've given up this time just to talk to us, mate.
Nah, always.
Danny, do you want to go first or me? Last one.
If you got any advice for like, obviously you went over when you played high school. Obviously, we spoke about the little hiccups and stuff like through COVID and all of that. If you got any advice for like younger kids and younger generations that are listening to this that want to get to the States and make that next step, was there any advice that you can give them to make it an easier process for them?
Yeah, I would say network. You'd have to network and don't be afraid to get in coaches' faces. Like, don't be scared to message and in spam inboxes and reach out to players. And I feel like we're at the point where there is no real cheat code. There's no, hey, message this guy and he'll get your D1 offer. I feel like it comes down to you and whether you put the work in. If you put the work in and you have that good film, sending the film out and getting eyes isn't a problem. But you need something to grab attention. Like, I feel like you need to stand out and be different. And it also, I mean, it does help that you're probably born with blessed abilities and blessed size. But again, through hard work and dedication, it comes a long way. And don't give up. There's going to be times where you're reaching out and you're getting no progression. There's no one replying. There's no hope, and you feel like you like give up. And you just have to keep going and keep pushing it. Like, reach out to coaches, reach out to players, and just network. You have to. Like, you can't rely on a friend of a friend. Like, you have to be the one to be like, hey, like, my name's this, I have this, look at my film. And I feel like going on after that, it just comes with just, I mean, hard work and dedication. Like everyone says, it's going to be like, sound like a broken record, but you have to be. Like, you have to just stay dedicated and your time's gonna come. And don't feel like you're too old and I'm running out of time. There's always something to do nowadays. You don't even have to play college football to go in the NFL, and it's showing. I mean, you can go and play Europe, get that film, and go the back doors to the NFL. So if your goal is to play football, whether you're in the NFL or the XFL, as long as you're playing football. So remember why you're doing it.
Holy shit, I feel like I can run through a brick wall after that, even though I reckon I am probably hitting that little bit too old mark. But yeah, shit. And you kind of treaded on my question a bit, Danny, but that's fine. I want to know the question I have to finish off. I really do appreciate that you say that there's a lot of corruption over in America, but one of the guys you want to speak to is Donald Trump. I reckon that's hilarious to start with.
Look, I just gotta get the visa for the family. We're gonna be good. That's
it. Smart. You know the network. You just said networking. You know who you got to talk to. But I want to get to the two sides of Frankie: the entrepreneur side, and then the footballer or the sporting side of things. It's kind of what you went into before, but in 5 years' time, where are those two different men sitting?
5 years time. 5 years time. My second year in the league.
Well, I think that knocks over one question. One side of the thing. So we're definitely in the league. Where would you,
feeling comfortable.
If you had a team right now, who would you go to?
Dolphins.
Ah, nice. Yeah, stay at home. Fair enough.
I'm a bit biased. I love Miami. Look, I don't care about winning or losing. Like, I'm playing football, living in Miami. It's paradise. That's it. And but yeah, 5 years from now, I think settled into the league, probably ready to start a family. Retired the family already. My parents, my mom, all taken care of. And getting ready to take the next step. We're just gonna ride that wave as long as we can. And in the background, we're gonna have clothing brands and everything. So working on it, and obviously, with the help of Endzone and that, hopefully we can build that program back here at the same time. But like I said, ride the wave as long as you can, and there's gonna be a day where you won't be playing forever. So once that wave finishes, that you take the next wave and you continue.
So at this stage where you're at, it's the league or bust?
Well, I'm the type of person where I manifest everything I did in my life. Like, I don't say, man, I want to go play football. But if anything, I'll just go work with my dad or I'll go work for I just I feel like I push it. And if that problem comes, then I'll deal with it then. But other than that, I have a checklist I have on my notes. I've had it my whole life. And it was just everything I wanted in my life, whether I wanted to play high school football in the USA. And I made it clear that's what I wanted. And I feel like that's what I do is I keep pushing it until I get it. So I finished that, and my next one is play college football and move on from there. And I have this checklist, and I always go over it, and I tick it off. I want to play All-American and Polynesian Bowl. I didn't get invited to All-American Bowl, but I did get invited to Polynesian Bowl. We tick that one off, and if you don't get invited to American Bowl, it's fine. But you just have to keep moving on in life. And I feel like you shouldn't stop because you didn't get what you want, but you have to move on.
Shit.
The amount of inspiration that's coming out of everyone who's coming out of the Endzone and all the young lads and stuff that we're talking to is honestly, it's incredible. It's humbling. It's humbling to be able to chat to you guys. So thank you, and also thank you for inspiring not only us but also the younger generation.
Thank you.
No, and that's we've come to the end of this, mate. But I really do. You are such an inspiration just talking to you now. Like we've messaged before this, but to actually sit down and talk with you, you truly are an inspiration. And the young Polynesian kids, especially coming forward, that are going to watch this for sure. I look forward to watching, and I'm going to have to get a Miami U helmet for the back for sure.
Need to. Yes, go Kings. That's it. Go Kings always.
Awesome, man. We'll definitely keep on top of you and see how you're going, and we wish you the best of luck going forward. It sounds like you've got your head screwed on, which is awesome. And I do love the fact that the NFL or even playing is not. It's just being there with the boys, having fun, And it's all. I always go by the mantra: are you winning because you're having fun, or you're having fun because you're winning? But I reckon if you're having fun, you're going a long way towards winning, and it sounds like you're definitely a long way towards that.
Thank you.
We'll speak to you soon.
Appreciate you, boys. Have a good one, eh? We'll talk soon.
Cheers, man.
We'll definitely check back in postseason. 100%.
Yeah, we'll get back on the call again. But other than that, I mean, we're family now. Reach out and we'll jump on a call again. So don't be shy to reach out, send a message. Oh, yeah, it's good
Will
meeting
do,
you.
mate.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Frankie.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.